Good, welcome to our YouTube channel. It's another weekend for our weekly analysis where we talk about what we expect of the market the previous week and what actually comes to fruition. Happy New Month, guys, because today's day is 1st of June 2025. The analysis for today will be what I'll be using from the 2nd of June till 6th of June 2025. So, without wasting much of our time, let's dive to today's activities. What I was watching last week on dollar index, which is our bellwether. Dollar index last week, I was interested in the level 98,500 to make a position. If the market price stays above 98,500, then I'll be 98,500. Then I'll be interested in 100 and 100,500. So the narrative remains the same, even though we saw 100, 500 being delivered. 98,500 happens to be the consequence encroachment of this blue shaded area here, the midpoint of the shaded area here. This blue shaded area. So as long as the market price stays above the box, then I'll be watching the same thing. 100 and 100, 500. But the moment the market gives, the shaded area gives way and the market finds its way below this level, then I'll be interested in coming into 97,500 and 97,000, 97 big figure. So which means I'll be sticking to previous week's buyers even though it has been met. So as long as the market price stays above 98,500, then if the market price finds support around 98,500, then I'll be interested in 100 again and 100, 500, if possible 101 big figure. But if the market price found resistance around 98,500, then I'll be interested in the market price visiting 97,500 and 97 big figure. As simple as that. So our cable last week. On cable, I was interested in the market price making a decision around 1.34 thousand. 1.34 thousand. If 1.34 thousand happens to serve as a support to the price, as in 137,000, if it serves as a support to the price, we should be able to see a kind of higher move. So if 1.37 thousand happens to be a resistance to the price, we should be able to see 1.3100. So 1.34 thousand, if the market stays above it, the narrative still remains the same thing. If we should see the movement below 1.34 big figure, then I'll be watching 1.31 thousand on the long run on cable. That means I'll be sticking to the previous week's buyers, even though the market has shown its strength to deliver the higher level. Though this yellow shaded area has my interest. So as long as the market price stays above the consequence encroachment, then I'm still interested in 1.38 on the long term. But the moment it crosses and that consequence encroachment happens to become a resistance to the price, then we should be coming into 1.31 thousand. So let's go to fiber, which is the euro USD. On fiber last week, my decision point is 1.12757. 1.12757. So as long as the market price stays above 1.12757, that means if it happens to be a support to the price, then we should be able to see our movement into 1.14300. 1.14300. But 1.14300 and above. So it was short of some movement here. The high of that candle on Monday comes in at 1.14188, and the market price dropped and found its way back into 1. Let me point it out. It's found its way back into 1.12757. So the low of this candle that formed on Thursday, the low comes in at 1.12107. So the coming week I'll be sticking to the same bias because I'm interested in the market price visiting at least 1.15 big figure. So that means I'll be sticking to the previous week bias of 1.14300 as the low hanging fruit, as long as the market price stays above 1.12757. So the previous week's bias still remains. So our S&P 500 last week, I was interested in the level to make a decision at the level 5694. 5694. So if the market price stays above 5694, we should be able to see 6,000. We should be able to see 6,000. 15694. So we should be able to see 6,000. We should be able to see 6,000 on the long run. We should be able to see 5850 and 6,000. But 5860 has been delivered. 5850 has been delivered, but we are yet to get a full movement on 6,000 because the eye of that candle comes in at 5994, big figure. Let me point it out. So we should be able to see this was the eye, and the eye was 5994. So I'm expecting, I'm still interested in the level 6,000. At least you should be able to see 6,000, and we'll be seeing 6,000 as long as the market price stays above this level here, where it was drawn from. So as long as the market stays above the consequence encroachment of this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So if the market price stays above that level, then we should be able to see a higher move. But if the market crosses and found its way below this consequent encroachment, then we should be interested in 5694 again, 5694.80. So I was interested in the previous week's buyers as well to be to be fully delivered. Previous week buyers of 6,000, as long as the um, consequence encroachment of that BC holds. So if it does not hold, then we should be able to see the low of this candle being taken, and we should be able to see 56.94 being delivered, but 94.880. But I'll prefer the higher move than the lower move, though 56.94 will be my last, what is it called, my last defense for the down movement, because if 56.94 should give way, then the bias and narrative will change completely. So let's go to our Dow futures. Dow futures last week, I was interested in the level to make a decision around 41,500, right, to 42,500. We should be able to see 42,500 as long as the market price stays below 41,500. So the high of this candle, the high so far was 42,712. 42,712. So 42,500 has been delivered. 42,500 has been delivered. So what's next? What would I be watching next? As long as the market price stays 41,500 still holding the price. As long as 41,500 still holds the price, let me put it that way. As long as the market price as 41,500 holds the price, that means the market does not trade below that level, then we should be able to see this high being taken. So we should be, I'm interested in the consequence encroachment of this level being visited, and we should be able to see 42,900, if possible 42,900, if possible 43. So as long as 41,500 holds the price, we should be able to see 42,900 or 43 big figure. Then to our Nasdaq. Last week, I was interested in the market price making a decision around 21,200, and we should be able to see 21,500 as the lowest hanging fruits. The lowest hanging fruits. The lowest hanging fruit. The lowest hanging fruit has been taken, which was 21,500, right? So I was interested to make a proper decision around 21,200. So if 21,200 gives way, we should be seeing a down movement. As in, if 21,200 serves as a resistance of the price, we should be seeing 2,300, I think. We should be seeing 2,300, yes, we should be seeing 2,300. But 21,500 was taken beautifully, and we saw a movement into 21,800, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 21,800, because the eye of that candle coming at 21,806. So the movement was so fast and smooth as well. So what am I watching the coming week? So as long as the market price stays above 21,200, 21,200, as long as it stays above 21,200, we should be able to see higher moves. you should be able to see I'm interested in 21,900 to 22,000. As long as 21,200 holds the price, I should be interested in 21,900 to 22,000 on the longer term. But the lowest hanging fruit as at of this level, as at of now that I'm speaking, the lowest hanging fruit is 21,500. The lowest hanging fruit is what? 21,500. So I'll be interested in 21,500 being delivered under no circumstance should 21,500 be spared. So to gold, sorry. Last week on gold, I was interested in 34, 34, 72. 34, 34, 72. 34, 34, 72 level, which happens to be a movement here. It happens to be a movement above this level here, the eye of this candle. So I was interested in the market price visiting 34, 34, 72, which happens to be the eye of this candle that forms on the 6th of May. But the market price is yet to deliver that. So that means I'll be sticking to that bias as well. I will be sticking to that bias of this movement. As long as the market price stays above 3,200. So 3,200 will be the decision point. So if the market price finds its way below 3,200, then the narrative will change into taking this low. That means if 3,200 happens to be a resistance to the price, if 32,000 and 3,200, sorry, happens to be a resistance to the price, then we should be able to see 3,100 sharp, 3120. That is if 3,200 gives way. But as long as 3,200 serve as a support to the price, then the previous risk bias remains. So let's go to the last but not the least, which is the BTC. The BTC last week, I was interested in making a decision around 11 110, yes, 110. But I was interested in the market price delivering 105 big figure. We should see a movement into 105 and 104. 105 and 104. So that means 110,000 is the level I'm deciding on. So that if the market price stays below 110,000, then we should be able to see 105 and 104. So 105 was delivered and 104 was also delivered. So we have seen 103 as well. So how am I deciding? This is how I will decide. It's so easy. As long as you found these boxes, this box, those boxes on my chart, you should know they are kind of my defense line. So now I'm interested in 100,000. If this yellow area, the consequence encroachment, I mean the midpoint, gives way to the price, so I'll be interested in 108,000 to be a resistance to that price, to the present price. Then we should be able to see 102 big figure and 100 on the longer term if that yellow area gives way. So thank you for coming this far with us. Thank you for being part of the family. We really love and appreciate you. A quick disclaimer before I leave: I am not a licensed financial advisor. Everything in this video is for educational purpose and educational purpose alone. The fact that I put my money behind it does not mean you should do the same thing. Trading the foreign exchange market comes with a lot of risk. You should know your risk appetite before venturing into the forex market. Unlike what the social media portrays today, the forex market is the hardest place to find or to get free money. The forex market is not a get rich quick scheme, but it is a must get rich scheme if you stick to it and you know your way around it. So thank you once again. Have a productive week ahead. Trade responsibly. Bye for now.